Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's mission, sharpen your critical thinking sword and learn to identify the top 10 most dangerous logical fallacies. We'll be counting them down from 10 to 1, and as we get closer to number 1, the fallacies become more manipulative and harmful. So, without further ado, let the countdown begin. Number 10. False dichotomy. This fallacy presents only two options when there are actually more possibilities. It forces a false choice, limiting your thinking. Here's an example.
You're either with us or against us.
This ignores the possibility of neutrality, disagreement on specific aspects, or finding common ground. Number 9. Bandwagon fallacy. This one pressures you to join the crowd, even if it makes no sense. Popularity doesn't equal truth. For example,
Everyone's investing in this cryptocurrency, so I should too.
following the crowd can sometimes lead you down a dangerous path. Number 8. Hasty generalization. Jumping to conclusions based on just a few examples is a recipe for disaster. Don't judge a book by its cover or a whole group by a few bad apples. For instance,
I saw a documentary about a bad teacher, so all teachers must be bad.
this is just an anecdote, in no way statistically significant, and it ignores the vast majority of good teachers. Number 7. Appeal to authority. Not everyone with a fancy title is an expert on everything. Authority can be misplaced. Here's an example.
This top politician says climate change is a hoax, so it must be true.
Look for the consensus of qualified scientists and not a few prominent politicians for information on climate change. Number 6. Circular reasoning. This sneaky fallacy pretends to be an argument, but it just goes in circles. It's like a hamster on a wheel, getting nowhere fast. Here's a common example.
Violent video games cause violence because they make people violent.
This simply restates the initial claim, offering no real explanation, nor any true evidence to support it. We're halfway through. Stay tuned as we explore the other half of these logical fallacies, and don't forget to leave a comment below to let us know which fallacies you encounter the most. Number 5. Post hoc ergo propter hoc. Assuming one event caused another just because they happened in a row is a common mistake. Correlation doesn't imply causation. For example,
The stock market crashed right after I logged into my trading app, so I must have caused the crash.
the crash likely had nothing to do with your individual login. Number 4. Slippery slope. This fallacy paints a scary picture of a small change leading to total disaster. It can be dramatic, but often overblown. A typical example.
If we legalize marijuana, next thing you know, people will be using heroin on every street corner.
This ignores the possibility of responsible legalization and regulation, and the specific characteristics and effects of each individual drug. We're now entering the danger zone. These top 3 fallacies are especially manipulative and harmful, so sharpen your focus. Number 3. Appeal to emotion. This fallacy tries to hijack your feelings instead of using logic. It's like a tear-jerking movie trailer designed to overwhelm you, not inform you. For instance,
If we don't pass this law, criminals will run wild on our streets and our families will be unsafe.
this example uses a scary scenario to pressure people into supporting a law without examining its actual content or effects. Number 2. Ad hominem. This fallacy attacks the person making the argument, not the argument itself. It's a cheap shot that distracts from the real issue. A common example?
That scientist must be wrong because they don't believe in God.
A scientist's religious beliefs, or lack thereof, don't invalidate their scientific findings based on evidence. Number 1. Straw man. This fallacy is a master of disguise. It distorts your argument into something easily attacked, creating a fake opponent you never were. It's like fighting a straw man instead of a real person. Here's a prime example.
You want to improve public transportation? Are you pro-socialism?
This twists a call for better infrastructure into a political attack. Before we let you go, here's a bonus one. The argument from ignorance. This fallacy basically says, we don't know for sure it's false, therefore it must be true. It's a sneaky way to avoid the burden of proof. For instance,
Scientists haven't proven ghosts aren't real, so they must exist.
The lack of evidence for ghosts doesn't mean they must be out there. You can't prove a negative, so the burden of proof lies entirely with those making the positive claim. There you have it. The top 10 plus 1 most dangerous logical fallacies. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments below, but please be polite and respectful when you do so. Now you're equipped to be a critical thinking champion. Remember, whenever someone uses these tricks, don't be fooled. Ask questions, demand evidence, and always employ a way of thinking based on sound logic. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.